Today, we're diving into one of the most disturbing and heartbreaking films ever made, The Girl Next Door, 2007. Based on real events, this movie doesn't just tell a story, it drags you into the horrifying world of cruelty abuse and the terrifying reality of what humans are capable of. It's not your typical horror, it's the kind that sticks with you long after the credits roll. The Girl Next Door. It starts off with a successful businessman named David walking down Wall Street when he gets a call on his trap phone. He passes by a homeless old man who then immediately gets hit by a car. David gives him CPR in order to help him, which surprisingly saves the man's life. He then talks about the 1950s, setting up a flashback to an incident that involved him doing something similar, particularly to two girls named Meg Laughlin and her sister Susan. When David was young and catching fish, he noticed a girl behind him, and her name was Meg. She then pulls up her sleeves to catch some fish, and that is when David notices a scar on her arm. When David asks her about it, she says it was a big accident. So this accident she was talking about apparently killed both her parents and made her sister partly disabled. Then it becomes obvious that David is developing feelings for her. Back at home, David goes to his friend's house named Donnie, who is the cousin of Meg. Then it comes to his attention that both sisters are living with Donnie, his brothers, and their Aunt Ruth. They are placed in the care of Ruth, who is mentally unstable. Her depraved sense of discipline leads to unspeakable acts of abuse to Meg. Ruth eventually gets killed by David, who beats her with a crutch, but unfortunately Meg, who was severely tortured by Ruth, dies too. The real story. The real-life Meg, Sylvia Likens, ended up dying in almost the same manner. The difference is that there is no real-life David to at least try to protect her. In the movie, the mentally unstable aunt subjects her niece to unimaginable torture, but Sylvia gets abused by a family friend, Gertrude Banishevsky. Sylvia's parents had 5 children and spent a lot of time working in a carnival. However, in mid-1965, the mother was incarcerated for shoplifting, and since then, the father, Lester Likens, had distributed the children among friends and relatives, which is how Sylvia and one of her sisters, Jenny, ended up with the mentally unstable family friend, Gertrude. Though the initial days went smoothly, Gertrude's oldest daughter, Paula, often clashed with the two sisters. When Lester's payment did not arrive, the lives of his 2 children were forever altered. Gertrude used to lock Sylvia in a room and punish her, while Jenny sat outside listening to her sisters wailing in pain. Lester somehow settled the payment, and the abuse only got worse from there. Accusing Sylvia of being a prostitute, Gertrude got one of the neighbors and her daughter to carve, "I am a prostitute and proud of it," on Sylvia's abdomen. She also blocked public visitors from visiting Sylvia, including a nurse who was concerned about Sylvia's well-being. Somehow, predicting Sylvia's end was near, Gertrude forced Sylvia to write a letter stating that she had run away with a set of boys to whom she offered sexual favors. The boys then beat her up and killed her. Sylvia's and Jenny's attempts to escape failed, as they were both malnourished and weak. Sylvia died on the 26th of December due to malnutrition and a brain hemorrhage. The abusive family friend blamed the unidentified boys for the death of Sylvia, only for the police to later